Guys, so this is a very quick explanation of what is credit transfer and what is recognition of prior learning for learners. All right, so if you're a student and you are wanting to apply for either credit transfer or recognition of prior learning in your institution, you need to understand the difference between these things. So if you're going for credit transfer, there's a couple of things that you want to know. One, in order to get credit transfer, you're going to have one of three documents. The first document would be a statement of attainment, and it will specifically say statement of attainment on the document that you are providing. You could also have a record of results, which would come with an overall certificate, or you could get your USI transcript. Now, your USI transcript, if you have achieved the units post 2015, is by far the best way to go about applying for credit transfer with an institution. You can log into your USI record, you can download your USI transcript, and you can approve the institution that you're applying to be able to access these records online as well. Now, what that will do is that will allow you to see where you've got a unit for unit equivalence. What that's going to mean is that your code and the name of the unit is going to be the same. Now, the code can sometimes be a little different and you can still get credit transfer. But if you do get credit transfer, you cannot be charged for that credit transfer. Now, this is a little bit different if you are going to an RPL pathway. RPL is known as recognition of prior learning. It's very different from the credit transfer process. In the credit transfer process, you give the RTO the document and they see that it's equivalent and they have to give you and they have to grant that. With recognition of prior learning, what it is an assessment only pathway. Now, in the past, there have been RTOs that have offered out recognition of prior learning as like, tell us about your experience, give us a copy of your CV, and we will grant you the certificate. That is not how RPL works. It is an assessment only pathway, and you actually have to provide full and complete evidence of everything in that unit of competency. Recognition of prior learning is really just that. What we're doing is we're recognizing your experience in this industry or sector. So rather than saying, hey, we need you to go and sit in a classroom for like a day, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, whatever, we're saying you can jump the learning section and you can go straight into assessment. Now, in some RTOs, they are going to be happy for you to send them all of your evidence. But what that's going to mean is you need to make sure that you actually have all the evidence from the units. That's going to be evidence of you often developing policies, implementing policies, designing forms, providing coaching to others, demonstrating a whole range of skills from your qualification. So if you're a plumber, you're going to have to show a range of plumbing skills in a range of different locations. If you are a firefighter, as an example, you have to demonstrate like that you've actually done all the different components of firefighting, okay? If you are a chef, you're going to have to demonstrate that you've done, you know, you've cooked all the different types of dishes. Now, the problem is that for the vast majority of us, while we've done these jobs for a long period of time, we haven't actually collected a lot of evidence of that. And so this is why a lot of RTOs will offer what's called an assessment only pathway. And that's where they go, look, we've got all of these assessments. They're all written, ready to go. Rather than sitting there and going through the classes, just open up the assessment, answer the questions, and then we'll come out and we'll watch a demonstration of you performing those skills, okay? Now, sometimes you might be able to provide evidence of that. Like, for example, if you've designed a menu, you know, if you've got some non-accredited certificates, you may be able to evidence components of that. But generally, it's very, very hard to evidence an entire unit of competency, let alone an entire qualification. So credit transfer is really nice and easy when you've got, as I said, that USI transcript, that statement of attainment. But if you are going for an RPL process, what you really want to be talking to your RTO about is whether or not you've actually got all the evidence, the time it's going to take you to collect all of that evidence and demonstrate all of that, or can you go into an assessment only pathway with the RTO whereby you get access to the assessments, you knock out all the theory assessments, and then you organize to kind of go in for a solid day or two to knock out all of the practical assessments around that. Hope you guys found this helpful, the difference between RPL and credit transfer for your students. This is Lauren Hollows from Anawaya Education Services.